ExpressTime Solution, we have a wide spectrum of tools for managing your overall business needs. It's not just a time and attendance software. It actually helps you manage your labor, your budgets, and so on. We'll go through that as we go through today's installment. We know as a franchise owner that managing and tracking your labor is one of the biggest expenses that your business will incur. Every minute counts, and knowing what is going on in each job and knowing how to track your employees to know that they're where they're supposed to be and doing the things they're supposed to be, that's where ExpressTime Solution is the tool that helps meet those needs to where you can go out and do the things that you need to do as a business owner and as a manager. We do timekeeping, which will allow you to set up the schedules to know who's supposed to be where and allow them to clock in and out via the phone through caller ID or through their cell phone through the GPS capabilities through their ExpressTime Mobile. It helps with the labor cost management to where you'll be able to manage the labor, the budgeted hours of work, and the price margins of your revenue versus your actual when it comes to your cost in that building. We also have supply management in here to where you will be able to see in a future slide about how to manage supplies in and out of a building. Also, project management is a huge part because project work is a good portion of your business as well, of reaching out and going above just the monthly incurrence to do the floor work and other things. We help with managing that through a project calendar you'll see. So let's start off with the timekeeping. It is, like I said, it's caller ID or GPS clock in and out tracking to manage and know your employees are where they're supposed to be at the building they're supposed to be at the time. This mobile GPS verification is used with ExpressTime Mobile with many other features as we'll go through the mobile. It's multilingual, so if you have others that are speaking a different language than the English language, you can also be prepared for them to be able to utilize that as well. The system is not just for the employees to clock in and out, but it also is for your supervisors and managers to be able to manage from the field. As they're out doing their thing at night, supervisors will be alerted without having to go look about people who maybe clock in late. Maybe they don't show up, they clock in early. There's many other things as overtime alerts to allow you to know if your employees are approaching that overtime. So that way the supervisors can actually go and do their job, manage, supervise the buildings, and not have to worry about what's going on without having to look at their phone every single second. Each one of these, the clock ins, the no-shows, the clock in earlies, that's all set up to where you can set that up per building and per schedule to know what each person is doing. You can order and track supplies as well. As you go through, each building might use a different type of supply, and we'll go into that and look into that in more details of how that order would look. But that is very crucial because many buildings you can actually sell products to, or maybe it's built into the contract and you need to keep a track on how much you're actually putting into those buildings. Everybody's going to have some times that they have to edit some things and to quickly identify issues or maybe using drive time. And the exceptions quick edit screen is your one source resource that you can go to and be able to check anything that qualifies outside the norm of your schedule you have for that person. You'll be able to quickly identify any of that in a date range that you want to use or put in. That's a very good tool to use every morning as you go in. That way, when it comes to the payroll time, you're not trying to fix times that you don't remember. Everything is, done the day after. Then any edits that you might need to make are exceptions. We also have multiple pay rates and multiple pay methods. Each employee, they could have different pay rates for the jobs that they do. And then you also might use different pay methods of your payroll export or your payroll company you use. We do exports for any and every payroll company that needs to have We will write it due to their specs and be able to do an export of the time to them in the language they need. Creating work orders for project work. This is the stuff that's outside the norm of your monthly cleaning. You're able to track that and to create that and be able to maintain that and use it. Use this tool to be able to track each project and know your profitability off of labor in every single project that you do. We'll look at that in a little further as well. This is kind of the overview I wanted to share with you about what ExpressTime can offer. We have many reports that will track the trends that's in your business that you can track from your employees to your buildings to the pay. You're able to look at trends throughout your company with hundreds of reports that we have, and we will have unlimited support on helping to train with those and with what reports could be most beneficial for you and your specific needs. Your statistics reporting for managing your buildings and your budgets. This statistics, we're going to see in a minute, this is one of the key factors in knowing your business every day, day in and day out. And being able to find things, see things, correct things, or check on things at any given moment of how your building is doing and how your company is doing as a whole. Your budget's labor and your budget's financial revenue versus your actual labor and your actual revenue. The building and to execute task schedules, that's one of the key things. We also, in each building, they're set up customizable to each building to set the task schedules up based off the contract you have with that customer. And like I said before, there's multiple payroll formats. We can customize for any payroll exports you might have that go into your payroll company. So how does ExpressTime kind of benefit your business? After hearing what all it might look and do, how's that going to benefit you? Well, first off, it's going to manage your labor costs. What have we said in this business is we know that tracking your labor, managing your labor is the biggest expense you'll ever have in this business, so you need to take a grip on it now. So this will be a tool that allows you to manage that labor cost. The statistics allows your budgeted hours versus your actual hours, your revenue versus your actual labor for cost, including your fixed costs, your FICA, FUTA, SUTA, payroll taxes. That's going to be included on this report, so you'll actually be able to see what you are profiting off of your labor. And it simplifies and it verifies your employment through the time and the location of when they clock in and out. They're able to verify that from the field. Your managers can manage and not have to worry, and they can take care of the business they need to take care of. And with over all the hundreds of reports, the supply management tools, task schedules, work ordering processes, so much more, you'll be able to do your work that you need to be doing out in the field, gaining new business, while you know ExpressTime has got your back and you're able to lean on it to know that your management is getting the things that they need to be able to manage your employees. So here's getting started. It's simple. First thing you'd want to do is add in an employee. You get your employee, you go ahead and put them in, you put in the basic information, name, address, phone number, you put their social in, then you go on across and you can fill in the rest and go into their birthday and on down. And at that point, once you have an employee put into the system, then you'll go put in a building. Once you add a building in, you put in your company name, address, you can put in your contact information for that building, and over on the right side, you can see where it's notify late. If late, notify short, notify if early. We have a 30-minute in this building. All that is customizable. You can put into what leniency you want, and that will be all you would need to do to set up your building, set up an employee, and to put a schedule in. At that point, you can put the schedule in through this building under the scheduling, and then these notifications would be starting to go out. If the people do not show up for the job that they're supposed to be doing, the manager, the supervisor of this building will be getting the notifications based off of the criteria you have set up. In the field, your managers will have the freedom to have the mobile, to be able to know what's going on. After you've added your information into ExpressTime to the data manager, you can rest assured that you can go out anywhere, and as long as you have your phone and you have either a internet access through the phone carrier or through a Wi-Fi somewhere, you can access what's going on in your company along with the managers you give that credential to. In here, we're going to talk a little bit about how this is going to be real-time management. We are live, so when somebody clocks in, it is immediately on the mobile app at that moment. There's not a delay, so they can see real-time what's happening. As a manager, they'll be able to view the client information and employee information. If they need to get a hold of somebody at the building or need to get a hold of an employee to find out where they might be or what's going on, to check in, they're able to have that information from the palm of their hand. They maybe need to access alarm codes if they're going to check on a building after hours. No longer do you need to keep a booklet with all the task schedules, with all the alarm codes, with all the supplies and stuff, because all that now is going to be fit in the palm of your hands. They can view task schedules to know what is going to be happening in each individual building on any given night. They can order supplies from the mobile phone to know that each of the supplies is going to be delivered and ordered to the specifications of that building. You don't have to worry about what kind of toilet paper it has, because when they order it, it knows that that building, because of the supplies you put in already on the data side, that it uses 96 roll versus Jumbo Junior. It would know that because that's what you've put in that building as an approved supplies, and you're able to order and not wonder what kind goes there. You just know, hey, I need to get that there. Your employees and managers will be able to clock in and out via the GPS on their mobile phone. Employees will also be able to check their hours that they've worked. They'll be able to request shifts, that it might be open shifts that you haven't gotten filled yet. They can also request time off if you allow them to have that option. They're able to view their building, order supplies from their building, as well as view the task schedules in their building to know what they're supposed to do, when they're supposed to do it, and to be able to do the best job and have everything that they need with them in the field. Notifications here as a manager at night. One of the worst things that can happen to you is the next morning you get to the office and you find out something was missed. So at night, managers will be getting notified if anything goes on outside the norm of the schedule that's going on. We know that on this example here, you can see that over on the left-hand side, it says ExpressTime Solutions. That's the message it comes from, and it's a text message to this manager. It says Donna Hopkins did not clock in at Federal High School, and it gives the shift and the time that she was supposed to be there. This will come once their allotted time that you give them is specified under the building of how much time you will allow them to be late before their supervisor is notified. At that moment, once they cross that threshold, it will then notify their manager and let them know that, hey, they didn't show up. If they turn around 5 minutes later, get there and clock in, our system also will send another message to that manager saying that Donna did show up, and they will give the time that she showed up. You can have it set to where early clock out. You don't want them to clock out early, or you don't want them to arrive early. You're able to set those times up to be notified. That way, you know everything that's going on in that building without having to constantly be looking at your phone, checking the data manager to see what's happening. You're being notified if it happened outside the schedule. You can also come in, and at that point, you can check the employee information. You can check the building information while you're in your mobile at that time and utilize that. Anytime, 24/7, have real-time management of your business. This feature right here, the notifications, can single-handedly save an account, because you will know before they get there the next morning. You will be notified so you can get in and have it done before the next day and your client has to call in. Here's the approved supplies. In each building, you'll be able to put a set of supplies that's going to be customizable to you. You'll be able to call it what you need to call it. So you'll know what supplies it is. You'll be able to enter those into each building. So that way we, in the field, we will know exactly what goes in each building. From the field, your employees will only be able to see what that supplies is. They won't know what you pay for it. They won't know the price that you sell it for if you do. They will just get to order the supplies. But in your building, you'll be able to put the price that you charge that company for that item, or you'll be able to see the price that you pay for it, and you can set up the percentages and say, I want to give a certain percentage markup on each item. And then what it will do each time that they purchase an item, it will mark it up that percentage that you want it to be marked up, 10%, 15%, whatever it might be. Then it runs a track record, and it knows how much you have actually delivered out to them. And you can run reports each month, and you can make sure everything was billed that was properly sent. And you'll also be able to see and start running trends on how much paper product you're really billing for versus how much you're actually purchasing. That's a very good tool to be able to manage and not miss billing supplies whenever it's not the norm on every building that you might be doing that. Task scheduling here. This is something that you can print out and put in the closets like we've done for many years, and then all of a sudden we know they all get wet, destroyed, and then we have nothing to go by. So now we have it in the ExpressTime Mobile. You can still print a copy out, put it for them there if you would like, but we suggest just use the mobile. And what it does, this provides the what, when, and where information on cleaning assignment. This is customizable to every building specifically. You can get a generic and then copy to your other buildings. If you have a contract that's fairly the same, maybe banks, maybe medical, you're able to do that and then customize each one to that specific contract you have with them. It is printer-friendly report, like I said. It's accessible through the mobile, so that way you always have an opportunity to look at it and check and see what needs to be done and when. And as a manager, going in, doing inspections, checking the building out, knowing what to look for, they're able to pull up their task schedule for that building on the mobile and know what they're supposed to be looking at and how to score this building. Client reports. We have hundreds of reports that maybe you need to find. You want to check out each employee, what they've been doing, how many days they've worked. There's stuff all the way to the certifications that they need. Is that who's coming up for certifications? It's a yearly, every 2 years, 3 years. Maybe they need to have a bloodborne pathogen. They need to have certain credentials. You can put those in. They're all customizable, and then you can actually run reports and be able to get that information and know who's coming up for them, what they have. Maybe they have certifications that have to be in a building. All that can be done. You can also run daily reports, run trends to see how your buildings are doing and how your employees are doing. So closely monitor the overtime with this, with the reports, as well as the overtime alerts that come to you through the mobile when that is set up. There's a number of reports, and we'd love to be able to take the time with each person individually to find out what their best needs is and share those reports with you. Here's a feature that's really been beneficial to project calendaring. This calendar here it is a calendar that is just strictly for your projects alone. This won't have your janitorial in it. That's the calendar on the main page. This one here is under the calendaring. This is for project work. This is for the one-offs. This is for the stripping and the waxing, the floor work, upholstery, those type things. So as you come into here, anything with a blue number for the day has projects that are scheduled for that day. And on this one, we're looking at the 26th, and we got the top project open, FGH. So it's the Forest General Hospital, the Marion General Hospital. And what happens here is I can click into that and I can break that down and see who worked there, how many hours they worked there, what they did. And if I look over to the right under the calendar, it will actually show me my revenue for that job, how much labor I have based off of them clocking in and out, and how much fixed cost, that's my payroll taxes, the FICA, FUTA, SUTA, unemployment, those type things. And then I can put in supplies if we had to use any supplies. And then it will give me my profit gain or loss based off of my labor at that moment. And it lets me know how fast I was moving per hour on this job. So you can go through each one and see how you're doing. This is live time. So what that means is if you've got a 3-day project going on and you check it on day 2, it will let you know where you stand on day 2 as well for every hour that's been accounted for your employees working there. And that way you can catch things before they get too far out of hand. Or maybe you run a report, you can run a report and give you the whole month of all your projects, and you can see how much revenue, how much you build versus how much it costs you in labor. And then you can see how you're doing on your projects as a whole, or you can individually break it down and look and see how you're doing on each job. One of the key things to knowing how you're doing per hour is because you might find that you move and make more money. It might not cost as much or bill as much up front for doing carpet than it does stripping and waxing. But once you look at what you're moving per hour, you might find that I'm doing better in carpet than I am in stripping and waxing, and you go and really try to hit those hard what's benefiting you in your business at that time. So this calendar is dedicated to the projects. You can daily schedule your projects, and then it's real-time profit gain or loss for the labor for each project. These also can be set up for once a month, every third Friday, every second Tuesday, however you need to set it. You can also set these projects up and it will calendar them out however you need specifically. Statistics and your budgets. Using this, it allows you to track your company as a whole, but also individually a building to where you can narrow it down to see where you might be going over and what you need to address. This gives you as a company as a whole your totals, and it also gives the breakdown of the building in its totals. So what we look at here is we look at our scheduled hours and our budgeted hours. So then we look at our actual hours. And the way this does is that you can run it at any time you want from the beginning of the month to wherever you are. If you're on the 12th, you can put it from the 1st to the 12th, and it will break it down and let you know where you stand at that moment in that time of the month. And it will let you know if you're already running over budget or not, because it breaks it down to let you know each day how much it will be going. You can actually look at your actual hours and your budgeted hours, and you can see if I'm actually over or under, or you can look at your actual revenue, what you're billing, versus your actual labor hours that you've used, and it will or your budgeted hours that you've used for labor, and it will tell you how much you've done based off of that employee, their pay rate. You can use the fixed cost in this, and that way it puts those fixed rates already in there, and you can see live where you stand in that building financially and budget hour wise. Here's a close up of a company, Kohler. If you was to use this, you would be able to see that there's scheduled hours that is at 1,125.25. Budgeted hours is a little more right now because they needed to do some extra things. They budgeted in 1,244.81, but they've actually only used 1,039.48 that month. So they were actually under budget on that month. And then you can look at the revenue, and they are actually getting the exact of how they were on the revenue and their actual labor versus their budgeted, and then their budgeted versus their actual. So this right here is something that if you're wanting to find out why did I go over 2% on my cost on this month, then I would be able to come down and you click on that building, and it breaks it down and shows you each employee, how much they were making, how many hours they had in there, and you're able to see where that might be. And a lot of times you'll find out the only reason that I did go over, and I didn't go over on my hours, but I did on my cost on the actual revenue side and the financial side, is because I budgeted for a $12 an hour employee, but I had to send somebody that was $13.50. So then you would just make your adjustments knowing, okay, I'm going to keep that person in there. I need to go up on that. And you can make your adjustments, but you can be able to see that and see what your profit gain or loss for your revenue versus your labor at any given time. This here is key, that you can go out and be anywhere you are on vacation or at the office or at your house and be able to see how you're doing in your business at any given time financially. So how do you keep your promise of what you've shared with your customers through the contract you're going to do? Well, you need to have some form of inspections. We have Express Inspections. It's for the quality control. The way our inspections work, once you add the building into ExpressTime, it automatically is going to go over to the inspections. to where you have a building over inspection set up where you can go out and do inspections. You can take your photos, you can take notes, you can do your inspections, you can set it up by zones or by building or by rooms. It's all customizable 100% the way you want to do. You can schedule those inspections for an inspector to go out and do at night, or you can just have your supervisors or inspectors just on the fly at the field, go ahead and log into inspections, choose the building that they want to inspect, and then go through and do the inspection. Once they've completed that inspection, they do have a signature. Once they sign off on it and submit it, then it is emailed to the appropriate people that you have set up that will receive the notifications that an inspection has been done for that building. You can run trends, you can track trends, you can see how you're doing as a business in a whole through bathrooms or through lobbies, however you want to break it down as a company as a whole, or you can look and see how I'm doing for the past 3 months in this specific building in restrooms or whatever. And you can track trends and be able to find out what is necessary to make my business even better than what it is today. And in order to do that, you also need to have great communication. Our ExpressTime communication system, the manager, what it does is it allows you and your customer to be able to have open communication without having to play phone tag, track each other down. They're able to open up a portal that they'll have. They'll be able to enter in a communication, whether it's a compliment, a complaint, a request, whatever it is, they can enter it in, and then they'll be able to tell you how important it is, and then they'll send that in. Once you've received that and you have opened it up and responded to it, they will then be notified, letting them know that there's been a response, that you have notified. You will notify them that through that they are able then to know that you're on top of it. It's not something that's fell through the cracks, and that you have assigned the people to go take care of it. You can respond back asking for them to respond to you. Maybe you're needing another question answered, or maybe you've sent the person out there to take care of it. They'll be able to know that you have handled your end, that this will be taken care of. Good thing about this is they don't feel pressured to have to complain all the time, because they know they have communication with you, and you have a track record of showing that anytime I've had a ticket open, you can track and see how long it took you to have that ticket open before it was closed. You're able to see how much, like you see right here on the screen, this is a pie chart, and it's letting you know how much time you're spending with each company that is in there. And so you can see which one you might be having the most issues with, or maybe the most communications with, because not all of it is issues. Sometimes it's requests to do extra work, or maybe a compliment. You're able to look and see, like with the First Bank Florida, we use 16.67% of our time. You can actually run the trend report and just say what all happened with the First Bank Florida. And then you can, from there, be able to see every ticket, whether it's opened or closed, of what's been going on. Also, in the Communication Manager, you're able to see your top 5 inspections and lowest 5 inspections that are right here on the dashboard. And as you was to scroll down, you would be able to see your open item tickets, and you would also see all of your inspections for the month range that you have in for that month. So you have unlimited communication with your client. There's unlimited use, unlimited clients that you can use with this. You can track the trends and communicate with your clients and know that everything's taken care of. So you never miss this opportunity to serve your client. That's what we're here for, is to serve our clients and to do the best we can for them. And we believe that these tools are what we can utilize to bring that out. We also, with our franchise, we use this as a sales tool as well, to assure this accuracy of what our contract with them is going to be fulfilled. So we have a quality assurance program that you can print out as many as you want. They're on our website. You can go to it, print it out, and it's 3 pages letting them know that I know that we're going to take care of your business and have the people here to clean it the way that we have in this contract, that we're going to uphold our side. We use a timekeeping system that notifies us and lets us know what's going on and how this is working here. And then we have an inspection software that we go in behind and we inspect to make sure we're doing the job we've quoted. And then we have this quality assurance of communication that we will allow you to have a portal so we can have open door communication to make sure we hit every need that you have. So when we share that with them and we give them the printout using this platform, it has been a great sales tool to allow us to intervene with our clients and potential clients. ExpressTime is easy to start up, and you can call us at any time at 888-457-7978, or you can email us if you would like to get more information about ExpressTime, to see maybe you want some more information, you want to talk to us about it, or have a personal walkthrough, or maybe some information. We can send you the ExpressTime magazine or any other things to share with you. All of this includes unlimited training and support. Doesn't matter how many people you have, you keep calling in, you need more help, we'll give you unlimited training and support. You always will get somebody who answers that is here in the United States and South Mississippi. We will be able to answer you, be able to talk to you, be able to give you the attention you need. You can use this with unlimited users. It doesn't matter how many employees you have or how many managers you have. It's all inclusive. Unlimited data. Doesn't matter how big or small your database is. It's unlimited there, and unlimited employees for you to have through this software. So there's two different pricing structures we have. The first pricing structure is just ExpressTime Online with the mobile access that we talked about. Unlimited training and unlimited support, and that's $49.95 a month with 12 cents a call. Or you can look at the ExpressTime Solutions suite, which is the online database with the mobile access, along with inspections that we looked at and the communications with unlimited training and support. And that's $109.95 a month and 10 cents per call. And there is a $500 setup fee with that for putting in the training with the others. But at that time, we'll be able to go through everything and have everything together, and you'll be ready to take off. Again, this is Brian with ExpressTime. If you have any questions, any concerns, please give us a call, 888-457-7978, or you can email us at support@expresstime.net. And thank you for your time.